Have you ever thought about, breaking up with your bank? It sounds simple enough, right? But a messy split can actually lead to all sorts of problems, like surprise fees or even damage to your credit score. So today, we're going to walk through how to close your bank account the right way so you can avoid all those hidden traps. So, you've found a great new bank. Maybe they have better rates or fewer fees, and you're all set to make the switch. But hang on a second. Just pulling your money out and walking away isn't the best move. That can actually trigger those hidden fees and put little dings on your credit report. There is a right way to do this, and it all comes down to a little bit of planning. Here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll get into why this is so important. Then we'll cover your pre-closure checklist, how to make that final move, tying up all the loose ends, and finally, getting you to that financial fresh start. Okay, so let's start with the why. Why all the fuss? Well, making a clean break from your bank is about way more than just getting your cash out. It's really about protecting yourself from unexpected fees and problems that can pop up way down the road. Okay, let's dive into this. When you see it side by side, the difference is pretty stark, right? Do it the right way and you get what we all want, a clean break, zero surprise fees, and your credit score is safe. But if you take the risky route, well, you could be dealing with lingering overdraft fees, bounced payments, and even negative marks on your credit report. A little bit of planning now really does prevent a whole lot of headaches later. And that brings us to what I think is the most important part of this whole thing, the prep work. Seriously, think of this section as your essential homework. Getting this right is what makes the entire process totally smooth and foolproof. We can break it down into 4 key steps. First, obviously, you need to open your new bank account. Step 2, and this is a big one, reroute your direct deposits. You want to make sure your paycheck has a new home before you close the old one. Third, go through and update all of your automatic payments. And then finally, once all that is sorted, you can transfer the rest of your money, though I'd recommend leaving just a small buffer in there for a little while, just in case. And when I say update your automatic payments, I mean all of them. Don't forget these sneaky ones right here. We're talking about those annual subscriptions that you forget about, or quarterly bills, app store payments, that toll transponder for your car, even your gym membership. These are the ones that really trip people up because they're not a regular monthly thing. Missing just one of these can cause a major, major headache. And what kind of headache are we talking about? Well, it usually looks something like this. $35. That's a pretty typical overdraft fee. Just imagine, you think your account is totally closed, but then a forgotten $5 subscription tries to process. The payment bounces and boom, you suddenly owe the old bank $35. It's a completely avoidable cost. All right, so you've done all your prep work, you've watched the old account for about a month and made sure nothing new has tried to come out of it. Now, it's time to make the official break. Let's talk about how to formally close that account for good. You've basically got 3 options. You can go to the branch in person, which is awesome for getting that instant confirmation, but yeah, it can be a bit of a time sink. You could also send a certified letter by mail. That gives you a fantastic paper trail, but it's definitely the slow route. Or you can do it online or over the phone. Super convenient, but you might have to follow up just to be 100% sure it's done. Just pick the one that feels right for you. But listen, no matter which method you choose, this is the golden rule. You have got to get it in writing. That piece of paper is your ultimate proof, your shield. It's what protects you from any of those weird zombie fees that might try to pop up months from now, with the bank claiming your account was never actually closed. And believe it or not, getting that confirmation letter still isn't the absolute final step. There's one last really crucial follow-up phase. This is your post-closure safety net that guarantees you get that truly clean slate. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it gives you a clear timeline for total peace of mind. So, day 1, you request that written confirmation. Within a couple of weeks, keep an eye on your mail for a final statement showing a 0 balance. Then, maybe 3 months down the line, just pull your credit report to double-check that everything looks good. Follow this and you're golden. And finally, once you know for sure that account is closed, gone, and in the history books, it's time to destroy the evidence. Go ahead and shred those old debit cards and any unused checks. It's a simple, satisfying step that closes the door on any potential fraud. And there you have it. By following these steps, you've really done more than just close an account. You've taken a really smart, organized step in managing your financial life. And honestly, that's something you should be proud of. So, what are the biggest things to remember from all this? First, always do the prep work and reroute everything. Second, pick the closure method that you're most comfortable with. Third, and I'm going to say it one more time, always get it in writing. And finally, keep an eye on things for a little while after to make sure it's a truly clean break. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought. You've just navigated a tricky financial task and given yourself a totally clean slate. So the real question is, what are you going to build with this fresh start? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.